Have you ever stopped to think about why some women simply hypnotize themselves when they enter a room, even without wearing the most expensive clothes or having a body considered perfect? What if I told you that the true power of seduction is not in the mirror, but in something you carry inside yourself, and maybe you haven't even realized it yet? Yes, I'm talking about that silent magnetism, that striking presence that doesn't depend on standard beauty, but on authenticity, confidence, and an energy that overflows even in silence. And no, this isn't empty motivational talk. It's science, it's behavior, it's perception. In this video, I will show you what really differentiates an ordinary woman from a magnetic woman, and how you can activate this power right now, without changing who you are, but revealing what has always been there. But before we delve into this powerful universe, I want to invite you. Comment below what you think is most attractive in a woman, and use the word "can" in your answer. It can be a word, a phrase, a sensation, whatever comes from your heart. I will read each comment, because understanding what you think is part of this discovery process. So let's go on this journey together, because your power to attract begins the moment you decide to truly see it. I want to tell you Clara's story. Clara was not the type of woman who turned her head when she passed by. She herself said that she always felt ordinary. She wasn't the prettiest of the group. She didn't have the body that society applauds, nor did she have a super elaborate style. But there was something about her that, over time, began to blossom in a quiet, powerful way. For a long time, she tried to fit in. She went on crazy diets, followed fashion trends, spent hours trying to make herself look more interesting, more desirable. But none of this had any lasting effect. She still felt invisible. Until one day, after a deep conversation with a friend she greatly admired, Clara understood that her true strength was not in the image she projected, but in the way she saw herself. That's when everything changed. She began to reconnect with her own essence, to realize the value of her ideas, the impact of her voice, the strength of her story. She stopped hiding, and that was what awakened his true presence. Over time, people began to notice something different about her. Without Clara changing anything physically, the eyes turned to her. It was no longer about the clothes she wore, nor how she combed her hair. It was about the way she entered an environment with poise, with lightness and confidence. It was about the sparkle in the eyes of someone who feels safe inside. She didn't scream for attention. She attracted it through silence. Have you ever met someone like this, that just being present changes the energy of the place? That person you want to listen to, want to understand, want to be close to? Comment the word below presence if someone like this has ever crossed your path, because this type of woman exists, and perhaps you yourself are one of them. You just haven't fully awakened to this power yet. And the most beautiful thing about Clara's transformation was that she didn't become someone else. She didn't need to deconstruct herself to be reborn. She just started to indulge, allowing you to feel, express, take up space. And the more she did this, the more she inspired other women around her. That's why I tell you, you don't need an external revolution. You need an internal reconnection. What makes you magnetic is not the high heels, the red lipstick, or the likes you receive. It's the energy you transmit when you're aligned with who you really are. When you stop comparing yourself and start taking ownership of your story, your values, your dreams. That's where the real attraction lies. Authenticity. And that's what we're going to explore together in this video. Because if you feel that there is a sleeping force within, you know that the time has come to awaken it, and that journey starts now. Now that you've begun to realize that the power of attraction comes from the inside out, it's time to do something fundamental. Deconstruct the myths you've learned, often without realizing it, about what it really means to be an attractive woman. From a very young age, we were taught that beauty is synonymous with aesthetic perfection. The media, social networks, commercials, everything around us screams standards. It's as if there is an invisible mold telling you how your body should be, how your skin should look, how you should dress to be noticed, desired, valued. But what if this mold actually diminishes you instead of freeing you? What if this constant search to fit in is erasing the very thing that makes you unique? I know it can be uncomfortable to think about, especially because many of us spend our lives trying to achieve this ideal. But that's exactly where the key to your turnaround lies. Understanding that your value is not in meeting a standard, but in breaking it with courage and truth. The truth is that being magnetic has nothing to do with measurements, perfect makeup, or an impeccable Instagram feed. True seduction begins when you look in the mirror and for the first time recognize yourself with affection, not as a project under renovation, but as a whole woman. Seduction is about energy, about intention, about authenticity. When you enter a room feeling proud of who you are, it doesn't matter if you're wearing heels or flip-flops. People notice, they feel. Attraction cannot be explained, it can be felt. And when it comes from a genuine place, it has a profound impact. Your vulnerability, your way of laughing, your way of speaking kindly or maintaining your posture even in silence, all of this builds your presence. No imposed standard can teach this, because this is yours, non-transferable, single. The problem is that many women spend years believing that they will only be loved, valued, or desired when they finally achieve an aesthetic goal. But that moment never comes. And when it arrives, the feeling of insufficiency continues. Why? Because what you're missing isn't a new body. It's permission to be who you already are, with pride. And that's why I want to ask you an important question now. Have you ever felt stuck in a pattern? Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought you needed to change everything before you could allow yourself to be happy, feel powerful, or even truly love someone? If your answer is yes, then comment below the word freedom, because recognizing this is the first step to breaking the invisible chains that hold so many incredible women back from living their potential. The path to self-confidence, magnetic presence, and self-love goes through this deconstruction. You are not a mold. You are movement, you are history, you are contrast, and that's exactly what makes you irresistible. The beauty that truly enchants is not the one that strives to fit into external expectations, but rather the one that expresses itself truthfully, with courage and with lightness. It doesn't matter what they said about you to this day. From now on, the one who decides what is beautiful in your life is you. Now that you've started to disconnect from patterns and reconnect with your truth, I want to invite you to take the next step, and it starts within you. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today, choose to do something simple and transformative. Enter any environment with the attitude of someone who knows exactly what they are carrying. It's not about arrogance, nor about appearing confident. It's about being. Do you know when you remember your value in silence? That's the energy. Walk like someone who doesn't need to prove anything, but still leaves a mark wherever they go. Take a deep breath, look into your eyes, feel your feet on the ground, be aware of your presence. Because the world feels when you feel, and that's where the real transformation happens. It requires no makeup, no physical effort, no external approval. It just requires you to be whole. And that is rarer and more valuable than any standard of beauty. Starting today, start observing yourself more. Notice the small situations in your day in which you diminish yourself without realizing it. When you lower the tone of your voice so as not to disturb. When you smile out of obligation. When you avoid a compliment because you don't know how to receive it. Now start to reverse this logic. Choose to treat yourself like a woman worthy of being seen, heard, and respected by you first. This is practiced. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about slowly building this relationship of care and recognition with who you are. Look fondly in the mirror. Speak with more presence. Choose positive thinking instead of criticizing yourself. Create moments even if brief, where you feel whole. This is activated power. This is real presence. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. It's not magic, it's consciousness. And when you start living with awareness, everything around you changes, because you change the way you position yourself in the world. So if you felt like this video spoke to you, if something inside awakened, I want you to give me a sign that you are willing to activate this power that already lives inside. Comment below, power activated. It's a symbolic but powerful commitment, because there's no point in just listening, reflecting, and following the same routine as before. It is necessary to act. Act for you. Start small, but with intention. I know there is immense strength within you, even if it is still hidden beneath layers of insecurity or fear. And I'm here to remind you that this force wasn't put there for nothing. You are capable of occupying your space in the world with beauty, presence, intelligence, and authenticity. So activate that power. Now, walk differently, choose differently. Look at yourself with more respect, because when you change inside, the world starts to see you in a completely new way. And that's what I want for you to be seen, remembered, and celebrated for being exactly who you are. And now that you've started to see yourself through different eyes, activated this silent power that already lived within you, and taken the first step towards positioning yourself more truthfully in the world, I need to tell you something that few people talk about. And that could be the turning point between keeping this magnetic energy alive or, without realizing it, sabotaging it completely. There is a silent, subtle, almost invisible mistake that many women make, including those who are already working on their self-esteem, who are strong, independent, and full of presence. This error seems small, but it has the power to disconnect everything you've built internally, like turning off your light without you even realizing it. And it doesn't have to do with appearance, nor with the environment you are in. It has to do with behavior, an attitude that seems harmless, but that weakens your energy, blocks your magnetism, and makes you little by little feel insecure, dull, even invisible again. This error is more common than it seems. I see it happen to incredible women who have emotional intelligence, a strong presence, self-esteem under construction, but who at certain times act so automatically that they lose connection with their own essence. And that is precisely where the danger lies. Because a woman can have the best clothes, the best speech, the best content, and still not be missed. And if there is something that defines a magnetic woman, it is precisely this. She is felt, not because of what she does, but because of who she and while doing it. So what is it that sabotages all of this? What makes us go back to off mode even after all this awakening? I will reveal this to you in the next video, because understanding this mistake and learning to avoid it can be your greatest shield for keeping your strength active. At home, at work, in relationships, anywhere you want to occupy your space with power and truth. And if you've come this far and felt that this content touched you, that something in you started to move, then stay with me on this journey. The next video will be essential for you to not only maintain this new posture, but to deepen this process of building presence and magnetism. And I'll tell you, it's going to be direct, real, and may even be a little uncomfortable, because we're going to talk about behavior that many people prefer to hide. But I believe in you. I believe that if you have already activated this power, you are ready to protect it. So comment below, I want the next one, so I know that you will continue with me on this journey of personal development, self-knowledge, and feminine power. You don't need to fit into any pattern, but you need to commit to your truth, and that is what we will continue to explore together, because being a magnetic woman is not a destiny. It's a daily choice. And I'm here to guide you at every step. You don't need to transform into another woman. You don't need to follow a perfection script or gain external validation to feel powerful. The magnetic woman is not born from a pattern. She is born from an awakening, from the moment you choose, with courage, to step out of automaticity and start living in a more conscious, more authentic way, more connected with who you really are. Being attractive has nothing to do with fitting in. It's about revealing yourself. And that's exactly why this channel exists, to remind you every day that you already have everything you need within you. Sometimes you just need a kinder look, a firmer posture, a word that reconnects you with your essence. And if, at any point in this video, you felt this reconnection, then this awakening has already begun. This journey is not about becoming an edited version of yourself. It's about finding yourself again, and that takes time, practice, repetition. So I want you to be with me in the next videos. Each new content here is designed to help you develop your confidence, your presence, your communication, and your personal power. Without magic formulas, without empty promises, but with truth, with awareness, and with real steps that you can apply in your daily life. This channel is a safe space for women who have decided to step away from comparison and enter into connection. And if you want to continue awakening this strength within you, then now is the time to actively be part of it all. Believe me, the woman you want to be already lives inside you, and together we will activate every part of it. So if this video made sense to you, if at some point you felt like someone finally told you what you needed to hear, subscribe to the channel now. Leave a like to help me spread this message to more women, and share it with that friend who also needs to remember the value she has. Every visualization here isn't just a number, it's a woman who is awakening, and if you've come this far, it's because you're ready for more. Come with me, because the next step of this journey is already waiting for you, and I will be here in each video to guide you with truth, with conscience, and with the love that you deserve. You're not alone. Your power has already been activated, and now we're only going to grow